Why do you want them to listen to your podcast?
So that when they think about starting a business, they've got the content that is pointing them in the right direction.
That is such a valuable piece of advice there.
The change in mindset makes a massive difference.
Welcome to Aussie Lawn Stars.
Brad, welcome back. I think this is our final session, and I want to give you a bit of time to talk about something that you have been working on more recently. So in 11 years, you've learned a lot of things. You've picked up a lot of things from VIP. At some point, you've decided to leave VIP and go independent.
Yep, correct.
So I think that's worth touching on briefly. But your choice to go independent is because VIP was no longer offering you as good a value as you grew your business up to have multiple employees.
Yeah, I think you get to a point. I think it was only last year that I sort of had the first discussions with VIP, and I just saw the money I was spending on my outsourcing my own systems, and I could see my business growing, and I could see it growing more if I could actually invest my own money into my own advertising, things like that. So that was one of the reasons, definitely, because I wanted to build my own brand. It's one of those things, if you're spending your own money on Facebook advertising and you're advertising VIP, you're not necessarily advertising your own brand. Anyone else can pick up that work that comes through the call center. So, I just wanted to take my business to another level. That was the main thing. But, I'd been speaking to some people for a while, and, I wanted to really start up a consulting business to help people that wanted to get in the lawn and garden industry, or maybe in the industry, but also needs just some help or guidance, leveling up their business. So it was being in a franchise was certainly a conflict of interest. So that was a reason I couldn't have stayed in the franchise.
Yeah, okay. So the sessions we've been running with you at the moment, we've identified a number of things you've done in business that give you a unique perspective and also put you in a good position for consulting services as well. So What does your setup look like with the consulting services you're offering?
Yep, cool. So we've designed an e-course. So the e-course is basically I think we've got 27 lessons in there, but the e-course is mainly for people that don't like we talked about earlier. If you're starting up a lawn mowing business, you don't know what to do. You don't know what tools to buy. You don't know what accounting or what systems you use. So that the e-course is really a really basic beginner's guide to give you all the tools you need from day one. So once you're ready to go, you go out there and do the jobs. You basically got a good range of knowledge that you would probably take you a while to get that information. So that's for sure. That's the e-course side of it. So that's just really, that's really beginners. And, you may only get that information from maybe joining a franchise. So it may also give someone that may be looking into a franchise that gives them something else to look at before they make that decision which way they want to go. So we got that side of it. We got the mentoring side of things. So what the mentoring is, it's people that do the course, they get a mentoring session, but they may want to then take on more sessions. So it's really just working out what someone needs help with and then working out a strategy to help them achieve what they want to do, basically. So whether that's to, how do they get more clients? They want some marketing advice, or they want to know how to get staff in. They want to know, I've bought mowing client lists before. I've bought about 5 or 6 different client lists. So I got a pretty good range of knowledge of that. Like I said, I got a range of the franchise system, staffing. I've had staff go through workers' compensation. You name it with staff. I've probably gone through a lot of issues. So worked out how to find the good ones as well. So that's sort of the mentoring side of things. Yeah, just helping people that, just have a lot of questions that just need to sit down and have those one-on-one sessions to get some answers and just point them in the right direction.
So you said that the e-course is 26 modules?
27 modules, and I think it's about an hour and a half of content.
And those modules are basically like if you start up with a franchise or you start independently and you've got to work out all of the systems you need in place to make your business successful, those modules are aimed at giving you systems that make you successful.
Correct. Yeah, giving you tools to succeed, really. But then it's obviously up to the individual to take them and use them and implement them, because, it's not a money-making system or tool. You're the moneymaker.
So your unique perspective there is that you've got a lot of experience with systems because of starting in a franchise. and you've got a lot of systems that work very well in WA.
Yep.
Obviously, a lot of that translates fairly well across Australia, regardless.
Yeah, I think in the end, business knowledge is business knowledge. It's still it doesn't matter about the type of work you're doing. To be able to get that work, it's still the same sort of stuff you got to do to be able to get it.
Yeah. So modules that are related to how to run a business are going to be relevant to how to run a business. Modules that are related to the type of equipment you need are going to be specific to the type of equipment you need.
Well, exactly, yeah, and just I think we just cover everything there that I think that I would find useful if I was starting up a business. Basically, stuff that you just wouldn't need. You'd walk away. Like I had a gyms guy trial my course, and he actually said he got a lot out of that course. Just as much as he got out from going to Melbourne to do his 3 days gyms training. So, it's just an option for people. Like I said, it may just be the decision someone needs where they don't know if they're an independent or a franchise. There's a lot of information in there, and it's like I said, it's basic to you or me. It's going to be extremely basic, or someone that's been doing it for 5 years. It's going to be really basic, but it's really going to. I've put a lot of info in there that's going to help someone that if they take all that stuff on board and use it to their advantage, they should grow a good business over time.
Yeah, and systems that you would put in place to run a successful business are mostly going to be fairly basic systems. But at the end of the day, that's what that somebody starting the business doesn't know. And so for them to have that in an e-course means that they can then refer to those systems and look at the criteria and go, okay, have I basically got a checklist there that allows me to go through and process all of those things I need to know so that I can run that business successfully.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing that someone can get out of it, listening to everything, but it's learning how to price. And I think that's the biggest thing and I'm hoping something like this can actually help people get the information so we're actually keeping the standard of pricing in the industry strong. Because it's very easy for someone to come in and just start, you see it a lot, which it doesn't really affect me much anymore. But when you're first starting up, trying to think you're having to compete and drop your prices is just the wrong strategy to take.
Yeah.
So it's understanding, letting people know these are the rates you should be charging and you actually can get, which someone wouldn't know.
Yeah, but I see this universally across the industry is when you start, be prepared to drop your prices so that you get your first few jobs, so you fill your schedule up. And I say the same thing. It's like, okay, getting your schedule filled is really important. So you may need to be more competitive on your pricing to get moving and then start working out your pricing as you go.
Yeah, I think, and there's no issue doing that because if you're planning that you want to do this for a long time, that you got to make work. You got to pay your bills.
Yeah,
but even teaching things like have a minimum charge, I think that's important. If you've got to sway a little bit, that's fine. But if you've got that minimum charge ballpark figure, you're going to basically, in 12 months' time, when you've got 50, 60 clients, you're going to be making couple $100 more money a week.
Well, if people start looking at jobs and going, all right, what's my minimum charge that's going to make sure that I'm actually worthwhile turning up for this job, then they start thinking about it. And then that means that even if they have taken something less than that, they start going, okay, that's not really making money. I need to change this. And if they're going, okay, if that rate that I'm charging for those jobs is what I need in order to be profitable, if I reduce that so that I get a few jobs, I'm not actually profitable.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I've my minimum rate now is $45, but I've still got jobs that I'm doing for $30. I haven't got many of them, but I'm literally, it's right near another one, and I'm there for less than 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just don't see the point in saying, all right, we're going to jump up to 45 because they'll just go.
And so this is the thing. Every area is different. So in my area, when I was doing residential jobs, I had 3 to 4 years ago, my minimum was $80 plus GST.
Yep.
That was just my minimum starting rate.
For a job or for an hour?
For a job.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
So I wasn't targeting 15-minute jobs.
Yep.
And so the smallest job I wanted to take on was half hour to 45 minutes. And so that was 80 plus GST.
Yep. That's fine, yeah. It's profitable. But then it depends how far your next job is.
Yeah, and for me, that was a case of going, the furthest I want to travel from home was 10 to 15 minutes. So all of my jobs within 10 to 15 minutes from my home.
Yep.
and then I would target specific areas for each day so that I was not traveling too far between each job on a day.
Yep.
But yeah, that's just the type of jobs that I was targeting. I wasn't doing jobs that were $30 and $45 like you're talking about.
Yeah. But no, I think, and just with the mentoring thing I'm talking about with the consulting business, it's more not telling people how to do things, but this is how I've done and made it work. But also, working out what people's goals are and then helping them work towards them. Let's not down where you want to be in 6-12 months, but then it's an ongoing thing. We're catching up. Are you achieving? Are you getting there? Things like that. So actually working with people, not just giving them a half-assed bit of advice, and then they you're taking their money and run.
I see mentoring as totally invaluable in today's age. And when it comes to business mentoring, it really is a case of going like a physical trainer or a personal trainer. I'm going to hold you accountable.
Yeah, basically.
And part of holding somebody accountable is saying, hey, there's a push and pull here. So if you want mentoring, then I'm here to help you with it. Or, Brad, you're here to help them with it. But I'm going to give you tasks and I expect you to come back with some results.
But it might be as well, like someone goes, "Oh, let's just talk once a month for the first couple of months, see what happens." Then I said, work out what's happened in that last 4 weeks. Tell me something that's gone wrong, and then we'll work out why did it happen and how can we fix it, or how do you improve that? There's just it's you can actually improve yourself as a person, as a business owner, just by talking about with someone that's done it.
So I think, from what I've seen, mentoring is going to offer the most benefit to somebody who is struggling with getting the right rates so that they're profitable, or somebody who's struggling to grow their business to the level that they want to get to. So in terms of going, well, I want to have a full schedule, or I want to have enough customers to put on 2 employees. Those areas are where mentoring is going to make the most difference. Obviously, any stage from I'm thinking about starting a business through to I want to turn over $5 million, $10 million.
Yeah, well, and you got to keep some people in check as well. I've spoken to people before, and their expectations are too big for what they're saying. What they want to achieve.
And that's where that, the personal trainer effect is really important. It's like, okay, if you're eating McDonald's, don't expect to look like me.
Well, I think I had someone I trained, because I was training people in VIP, and someone came through and said, I want to earn $300,000 a year, but I don't want staff. And I'm going, you're probably not going to get there, mate. Like, if you're just going to do residential, depending what you want to do, in the short time I spent with you, what you're telling me what you want to do, it's probably not going to happen. But, you can certainly, there's always ways you can get there, but it's working it out.
Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of people from podcasting, and I would say we're probably approaching 170, 180 people I've spoken to for the podcast. I know 1 or 2 that are hitting close to $300,000 turnover as an individual. Most people are going to be somewhere between 100 and 200,000, whereas the biggest pocket is going to be around the $120,000 to $150,000 turnover for a solo person.
So I think I maxed mine out when I said I'd capped out for 3 or 4 years. I think I was around that 170 mark. I just felt like I couldn't go the next step. And that this was 5 or 6 years ago. So that will probably be over 200 now with the prices increases.
Yeah.
But that was 5 or 6 years ago. I just every year I felt I'm like, I'm going to do more, and then I just capped out at that. And then that's when I was like, nah, if I'm going to increase now, I need to get staff. So
yeah. So with mentoring, have you found any particular issues which become insurmountable for somebody that you're mentoring?
In what way?
As in they're not willing to change what they're doing, or they can't see that they can actually improve things?
This business has only been launched for about a month, so I'm still in the very early stages of it. So I think I've had 2 sessions, mentoring wise. So we haven't properly, put it out there much yet, but just the Facebook following that we have. So I think it's like any mentoring or coaching business. It takes a bit of a time to get a bit of traction.
Yes.
So it's there. We're doing advertising. I'm doing videos and putting them up on the page, and just to see if and like I said, within WA, I'm holding stand-up. Like I said, I did a contractors day on Friday, and it's more about teaching. It's a free event. People want to come along. I want to do more things like that. I'm hoping if we get a bit of a following to maybe do some webinars and things like that, and Q&As. I think the biggest thing people want, they want to be able to ask questions and get answers. So
Yeah, for sure.
So things like that, it's just going to develop as it goes. So, but I thought, unless you do something like this, because I have helped out a few mates start up their businesses and they've really appreciated my help. So
Yeah.
I just thought, why not give it a go and start it up? If it interests anyone, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, awesome.
So
I think the biggest challenge I see with mentoring people is people changing their actual mindset when it comes to how they look at things. And obviously, the biggest mindset issue that we see come up in places like LMCA is changing from being an employee to being a business owner.
Yep.
Because most people starting a business are looking at it as an employee. I just want to earn a better hourly rate than I'm earning working
Correct.
at Domino's or Coles or wherever it is.
Yep. And that's what I mean. It's teaching people as well the costs involved. And that's the biggest thing.
So yeah, trying to help people over that hurdle of going, okay, the mindset that you need when you're running a business is different to the mindset you need when you're a parent or when you're an employee or when you're doing something else.
Yep.
And once you start looking at things with a business mindset, and all the tools that you give them with mentoring are going to come into that effect, one tool at a time, until they actually start utilizing those things properly. But once they start utilizing them, then the way they look at business is never going to be as an employee ever again.
Yeah. And I guess it's the way as well. If I can, what I've learned in 11 years, if you can help someone fast track where they're going to be in their business, you're going to get to there quicker than I got to there anyway.
But so that's hard work for people to overcome that.
I think it'll be harder for people that have been doing it for a few years than just starting. Because when you're starting, you got no systems, you don't know what to expect. So if you're a sponge, you'll do well. But if someone's been doing something 4 or 5 years and then they're very hesitant about change, they're the ones that may not find it as beneficial if they don't adapt. I need this help, but I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to do what you're saying or take your advice.
Yep.
I would just it's a tough one. I'm sure it's one of those things I'll learn as I go and I'll develop the way I do it more. But like anything, I think knowledge is power, and if I've got some knowledge that I can help someone overcome anything or start up a business, why not try offer my time to at a cost, but to teach people or help people, because there's a hell of a lot to learn.
There is, isn't there? What did you say? 67 modules?
It was 27.
27 modules. Sorry,
in the e-course. Like I said, it's one of those things. I don't think you don't want to do something that's going to be too boring, but you want it to be just enough where they get enough out of it. But then, if you really want to take it to the next step, do the mentoring session. That's where we dig deeper into those things that we talk about in the course.
Yeah, but all of those modules are different aspects of running a business.
Oh, I talk about good clients, bad clients, the differences. Just it's everything in there. Like even just down to about how to set up a website, or how to use Canva. Taking advantage of things like that for free marketing, to create your own marketing thing. Think just basic things like that I've used, but how to just pass that information that people wouldn't know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and with price pointing them, I feel it's quite cheap just to try to get people in, and just to. You're not going to be, there's no point overpricing something that no one's ever going to do. Then you don't get the feedback on what you're doing.
Yeah, of course. If you make it too hard for them to achieve, then whether it's price or whether it's challenging for them to get their head around it, then you'll never get feedback because people will be put off doing it.
Yep, that's right. So it's a watch this space and see what happens. But all you can do is keep doing it and see what comes out of it. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Brad. It's been good talking to you.
Thank you. I've enjoyed being. Like I said, I've been listening to your podcast for ages, and it's I've always wanted to do a podcast. So thanks for having us on.
Thank you for listening to Aussie Lawn Stars. Please remember to rate and review the show on the Apple Podcasts app or the player you use. Exciting new shows are released every Monday. Make sure you follow or subscribe to hear the next episode.
Welcome to Aussie Lawn Stars. Do you want to leave your job to create a profitable and enjoyable lawn and garden business? Aussie Lawn Stars shares the stories, lessons and advice to help you grow a healthy, productive, efficient and sustainable business. Do you want more or simply have a question about what you heard? Contact Aussie Lawn Stars at iCloud.com or look me up, Gary Ashton, on Facebook and Messenger for individual help. Business coaching helps you to have the right mindset and perspective when it comes to daily decision-making, planning, or knowing what to look for to improve your business. thinktankcoaching.com.au has helped me, and they can help you move towards your business goals. Visit their website or email them, thinktankcoaching@outlook.com. If you want to establish the best practices in bookkeeping, accounting, and business structure, contact Adrian from Prosper Financial on 0249 773363. And you all need to head to Lawn Mowing Contractors Australia and the Australian Professional Lawn Contractors Facebook groups for supportive communities focused on our industry.